Why are numerical statistics so favoured over named traits in game systems?
So I think I know where this question's coming from, in that role-playing games are an oral and literary art form. So why is it reduced down to numerical statistics when an approach using like named traits would seem intuitively to be more in keeping and fitting with what games do? And it seems like a slightly odd question given that Fate exists and did very well for a very long time, or PDQ less well, or other games. And I've done games based on this named trait idea as well, the description system. Also in White Wolf's Salon style LARPs, you had named traits rather than statistics per se. So it's been around, but it's by no means the majority of games. Over the Edge, the Warp system had it as well. So why isn't it more popular? Why is it always kind of experimental, slightly fringe, slightly indie? I think it's less easy. I think there's more cognitive load on both the players and the games masters when it comes to concepts rather than statistics, when it comes to traits rather than statistics. Make a strength roll is very straightforward. When you're not dealing with things that are that compartmentalized, things become fuzzy. Does this trait apply here or not? And it also becomes a negotiation between the games master and the player. My character has the trait soldier, so they trained a lot, so can that help me with a strength task? And I've also got bodybuilder, and it's more about show, but might that lend itself to some body strength? Does that count? Things like that. It all becomes a negotiation that takes you out of the moment in the game itself, and paradoxically perhaps becomes far more about system for longer than just going make a strength roll and having a numerical value for the strength to roll on. So I think that's why. I think that's the main reason that no trait-based system has really taken off and become a real market leader. I think that's why it tends to be confined to some reasonably successful indie games for the most part. Which is a shame. I like words, I like vocabulary, I like being grandiloquent, and RPGs, I think, have the potential to help people with their English skills as much as they do help them with their math skills. Just don't tell anybody. Everyone hates it when things are educational. It's a shame, but I think that's the main reason. The other reason is that the origin of RPGs comes out of war games, which are really about statistics. What's the overall chances and odds that such a unit will hold its ground, or how effective its gunfire will be, or whatever else. Going back into those Napoleonic ranks of soldiers on a big battle board and all the rest of it. So some of it's the origin, some of it's the relative simplicity, some of it is the fact that the mathematical stuff, while it seems jarring, does tend to be bypassed quite quickly and move on, whereas with traits and so on, because they have no set value, because they're kind of wibbly-wobbly concepts that fray at the edges, everything's negotiation, and there's a lot more effort and thought that has to go into it. But it is a shame.